Greetings from Fort Worth Christian in the great state of Texas. Parents, teachers, and students, we are gathered here to recognize and honor the years of great hard work that has been successfully completed as a prerequisite to awarding these diplomas today. As Associate Head of Fort Worth Christian School, I am thankful to all of you for the sacrifices made to equip these graduates with skills, knowledge, and character to go into the world and make it a better place. It is your school's mission to raise you up as global Christian leaders. Students, you are ready. I want to say thank you to Mr. Lee Markey for his steadfast leadership these last few years, for his bold vision of what it means to be Christian and seek a life of excellence. Thank you, Lee. How do we become a global Christian leader? Romans 12:1-2 tells us, I encourage you, therefore, brothers, by God's mercy, that you present your bodies holy, acceptable to God. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God. Step one in becoming a global Christian leader is present yourself to God. Understand God knows what is best for each of us. Humble yourself as a discipline before God in order to hear what he says and what plans he has for you. When you entered school as a 4 or 5-year-old, you came willing to learn. When you placed yourself in the international program here at Shema, it was in fact to learn from English-speaking teachers. The course of instruction was not meant to provide knowledge for the teacher, but the student. Whatever phase of life you find yourself in, be present to learn the lesson before you. Whatever that lesson, whether that lesson be a spiritual lesson as led by the Spirit of God, or a class at a university, or lessons in relationship with others. Another of Paul's statements can be used here to help us. Philippians 2, he discusses the humbleness of Christ. Presenting ourselves humbly before God, or whatever task we aim to complete, will allow for maximum acceptance of the experience and the lesson learned. Step 2, do not be conformed to this world. What is truth? It is the standard accepted by society? No, because tomorrow they will tell us something different. So should we seek to conform to this world? No, we seek truth in God, his creation, his guide for living in relationships, the Bible. Seek authenticity in all matters of the heart and in science and in history. Be able to differentiate between truth and bias, yet do not dismiss bias, but understand where it comes from. To shed light on bias, have the courage to address all lies and bias in a manner exemplified by Jesus. Step 3, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. One of my personal favorite admonitions in the Bible, the current societal phrase that corresponds to this, is a growth mindset. Growth mindset is a belief that individual talents can be developed through hard work and good strategies and input from others. They tend to achieve more than those with a more fixed mindset, those who believe their talents are innate gifts, which they are, but we can develop them. Those who worry about the innate gifts don't see any ability to grow. The growth mindset was discovered and put forth by Carol Dweck. Graduates, seize this moment. Renew yourself constantly. Place your energy on learning and never look back. Use what you learn to build skills and make improvements in your life and the lives of those close to you. Start a path of growth that you will never finish, not just to be a corporate leader, educational innovator, or an inspirational minister, groundbreaking scientist or engineer, but be the best whatever your goals take you. Never think you have arrived, but always be on a growth path to renew your mind according to the way God would have you live. In this, you will find fulfillment on your journey. A journey that will always shine to others around you. A journey filled with hope and optimism that there is an answer to the toughest questions you will face. A life transformed by focusing on Christ, his holy expectations, and a way for you to make a difference to others around you and the greater world in which you lead. In modern times, we give credit to Dr. Carol Dweck for coining the phrase growth mindset. However, in talking about renewing your mind, it is evident the Apostle Paul understood God's intent for growth mindset some 2,000 years ago. And in that is a lesson for all of us. The Bible, God's holy word, is timeless, providing a way for always renewing, and always growing for those who choose to listen and learn. Step 4, in becoming a global Christian leader. Prove to yourself what is good and acceptable in the perfect will of God. This is the difference in the secular growth mindset and being transformed by godly truth. At the center of the growth mindset is me. At the center of transforming yourself by renewing your mind is God's truth and God's will for each of us. God's will for each of us is stated clearly in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future. God's truth is not a flexible truth defined by the masses or those in seats of influence and power, but a truth that has been the same, and is evident since creation. Find yourself in this journey guided by the alignment of your goals with His, and your life will be successful. Conclusion today, how does this lead to a global life of leadership? Now, more than ever, we need people of integrity, honesty, transparency, and truth. A life committed to growth, transformed by God's guidance from His Word, His community, and His Spirit, will result in your leadership for others. Renewing your mind is growing in your understanding of who God is and how you can bring glory to Him. All of us seek authenticity, and only a life guided by truth can provide that authenticity. A life that is full of grace and courage to act in a consistent and predictable manner. Leadership is encouraging others to be their best. In this, you will find success. But you must reflect the grace that can only be learned from God, and then act with courage in His truth. Seniors, congratulations, and may God bless you in all of your life endeavors.